Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Eco Tarot. This is Kensley, the Eco Tarotist. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited about your reading. We are doing something different today. It's going to be kind of it's a chakra progression, going through each of the chakras and then combining it at the end. And I've also kind of been dabbling in doing my own deck for Lenormand because I didn't have one and I just didn't want to use playing cards. So I just kind of drew one up. So you're going to see some amateur hour cards also in this deck. So let's get started. So let's just say that there's some drama here, Cancer, I have to say. You got the chaos and conflict. But what I like about this card is that yeah, there's chaos and conflict, but what it does is that it's allowing for what you thought was you to pull away from you and disintegrate into the wind to reveal your true self. Like you really thought you were a giraffe. You really did. And there's chaos and conflict, which is pulling that giraffe cloak off of you and dispersing it to the four corners of the earth. And in its place, you're going to see how much of a zebra you truly are. So while these are never good things, I think I like the darker ones. I like the darker, you know, if you only get the sun and the star and all of these fun things, then how do you ever learn? How do you ever grow? And to me, this is more intriguing, more interesting than anything super just lovey-dovey happy. It's like, no, that fucking shit's stripping away. That motherfucker's gonna stop thinking he's a giraffe real soon and having to realize that that guy's a zebra. You know, figure that shit out. That's a whole nother chapter. Let's do this in chapters, right? Gotta pull that apart. Get your giraffe mask off and then you got to figure out how to be a zebra. But guess what? Eagle Spirit has your back. Let's look from a higher perspective. Let's try to figure out what Spirit wants from us in this reading, because there's some drama. It's dramatic, Cancer. Your root chakra. See, I told you amateur hour. Whatever. You've got supporting this, the root chakra. You've got Ace of Swords from the back and Nine of Cups from the front. In addition, you've got my Lenormand version of the ship. You see that? Yeah. Like I said, amateur hour. Whatever. It was fun. It was art day on Saturday. Like, made me happy to just draw and just enjoy myself. Okay, for your root chakra, and to be in balance with the root chakra, it's grounded, it's stability, it's prosperity, it's being healthy physically, it's trust. And the ship, and I love Lenormand, I'm just discovering Lenormand's version of the cards, and it's not up for interpretation. It is straight up ship. And it is not, it's what you see is what you get. It's ship in, ship out. No ship. That's my bad pun for the day. Gotten that out of the way now. All right. So you can rest assured. You get the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Cups, and the ship that is travel, exploration, departure, and you get a brand new beginning in truth and wish fulfillment. So I think, and this is root, so this is grounded, this is stability, this is prosperity, this is, I do see prosperity. I don't necessarily see stability, because that would mean, I would think, more groundedness. But travel isn't necessarily a bad thing when you're talking about stability. I think it's stable in its own way, however you make it. And there's a new beginning in that. There's a new beginning in, I think, an idea, not necessarily truth. Sometimes, almost always, I think of it as new beginning in truth. But I think this as a new beginning in thoughts of what you can do in terms of travel, and maybe being able to fulfill those wishes that you've always wanted to go to, I don't know, Morocco. Maybe you're realizing that you really could do that, and that makes you grounded. And so your root chakra, I feel, is good stuff. Your sacral chakra, which is governing that creativity, more sexual balance, that's sexual health, pleasure, feeling, fluidity when you are in balance. That is combined by the King of Wands from the backside and the Animus, or the Man, from the Lenormand deck that I drew. This is my version of the Man. Told you, amateur hour, but I like it. I like it. Hey, you know, for not being an artist, not bad. I see this as, you know, this is the King Leonidas guy that I love. But he's from the behind the side, so he's a little more vulnerable. He's not so confident in what he needs to be. And this Animus card is truly, if you are a man, this is you. If your person you're thinking about is a man, it's them, 100%. It's not, no question, not like some weird energy of masculinity energy. No, it's a dude. It's a full-on man in your life, whether it's you or the person you're thinking about, or right next to you. I don't know. If you're not thinking about any dudes, well, somebody is in your life that's a dude. And they're feeling insecure about, some sexy times. They're still the king. They got their shit together. There's like a little seed of doubt. And it's a real person. Okay, so we're working, that's fine. We're working with, I mean, who is fully confident in that realm? I mean, it's very hard to be fully 100% confident, and when you say you are and don't admit that you're maybe not, then you're lying to yourself or to others. Just saying. Let's all be real and say we all could learn a trick or two still up our sleeves. We could still. Solar plexus, which is self-confidence, is, all right, we've got Eight of Cups, excuse me, coupled with the Bear. very aggressive bear, but it turns out that I can only draw storybook bears. So this is what you get. Walking away from the storybook bear. When in fact, a bear is supposed to be in the Lenormand deck. Power, leadership, strength of character, mama bear kind of energy. And this is solar plexus. So this is, when in balance, it's vitality, strength of will, purpose, self-esteem, visionary. That's what I think of, you know, I think of this bear as when in balance. And when you're not in balance, you've got poor self-esteem, you're passive, or you've, on the other end of the spectrum, you're dominating, controlling, aggressive, or scattered. And so honestly, what I see this as is that you're normally really, you've got a really great head on your shoulders, you've got a really great strength of character. I think this slight kerfuffle in the sacral area did a number on you, and you are faltering in your self-esteem and are walking away. To maybe think about it. Doesn't mean it's, you know, forever gone or anything like that, but I do feel like it's had that sexual just blip. It's not even a real thing. That sexual blip did a number on your self-esteem, and you're walking away right now from emotion, maybe even walking away from emotionally understanding it. You don't want to emotionally deal with it. I do think that's not healthy. You know, it's one thing to kind of just step aside and just think about it. It's another thing to altogether to not, you know, to walk away from the emotions associated into understanding at all. I cannot stress enough the people bottle everything up, and it's, you have to tackle it on head first, anything that you're going through, because it's not healthy otherwise. And so you've got your heart chakra, and it's 4 pentacles and 5 of swords from the backside, coupled with the coffin. And unlike traditional tarot, where, you know, death is always seen as rebirth and, you know, the cycle ending and all of this metaphorical shit, coffin really means death. Ending, dying, loss in the Lenormand. So we're having some heart chakra issues here. I think you're having a hard time walking away from holding on. You're having a hard time stopping the holding on for dear life, and having a hard time walking away from this ending. It's not literally death. It could be much more so in Lenormand than it is in tarot. Tarot is always like, oh, it's metaphorical. This one's more like, yeah, like we need to, there's something's going down. But it's all also in context of this, and I see, you know, death of loyalty. I see death of strength of character. I see death of, so it's not, I if it was like this guy right next to coffin, I'd be like death of the man, literally death of the man, or death of the ego. death of the ego. But it's not. It's death of your strength of character and death of loyalty, or loyalty towards death. I mean, it's all very simple, straightforward. I wouldn't think it's loyalty towards death. I'm just saying. So I think your heart chakra has taken a hit. I don't know if the sacral and the solar plexus resulted from the heart chakra or the heart chakra resulted from the sacral. I don't know, but it's definitely, you're having a hard time letting go of whatever has died in this relationship, or, you know, of walking away from something. So let's go on to throat chakra, and you've got dog, which is loyalty, devotion, friendship, and that supports the Knight of Swords and the Emperor from behind. And I do like this energy. I was worried about the Emperor from behind because, you know, sometimes he's amazing and sometimes he's a total, you know, dictator. It just depends. And this card is representing that he's still governed by his, he's still influenced by his female empress, the moon, on either side. I love that. And so I don't think, you know, there's this cube of what knowledge, and then there's a flame going on. It doesn't really explain it, but what I would take that as is like, there's a torch still lit. You've got a torch that's still, that passion is still burning bright behind the facade of the leader, the dictator, not dictator, the leader of the empire. But that there's a ignition, not ignition. There's still passion burning behind it. And this cube of, I don't even know what the fuck that is, but I'm sure someone else would know that. Why don't you tell me later on, Cancer? But to me, that means like, I don't know, a block of, let's see, spirituality, imagination, you know, passion and love, and all swirled all together, and it's all combined into a big conformed cube, and it's like conformity of some sort. But so there's passion and conformity. All right. But I see this is loyalty with this dog. And then this is a communication card of truth and intellect. And it's from the behind, where it's like, it's not truly just ready to ask for help yet. And that is the throat chakra. And so the throat chakra is the clear communication, creativity, resonance when it's all in balance. There's fear of speaking or speaking too much when out of balance. And this is a card of communication that's a little bit hesitant to communicate. And then this is a card of power, looking at it from the backside, that it's almost like, is it too much burden for this person? So you've got almost too much burden, not ready to speak out, and then utter loyalty with the dog. So I think your throat chakra is not speaking clearly yet. there might be a little bit of imbalance, but I feel like you're getting there. I think this heart chakra stuff really affected you. This whole death of you know, and then it's literally compounded by chaos and conflict. I mean, it's this whole reading is that. Sorry, it is. But third eye is Sun with the Lenormand and Four of Cups from the tarot. And the Sun is happiness, success, victory, power, truth, and warmth. And that clarifies the Four of Cups. So I feel like your third eye, which is seeing the future, psychic perception, accurate interpretation, imagination, clear seeing. And then when it's out of balance, there's poor memory, poor vision, unimaginative. There's headaches on one side, and then there's headaches, nightmares, delusions, and difficulty concentrating on the other. I think your third eye is clouded by what it's like you've blown it off. But there's true happiness and success beyond what you're seeing. But you're just not seeing it right now. And opening up that intellectual intuition. Why do I keep doing that? Is gonna, because this card is this Four of Cups card is on the other side. It's like, oh, I just see these cups, and then you look up and you're like, oh, there's a ship. Oh, maybe salvation is you know, within my reach. What is happening here? But you don't have that portion of the card. You have this portion of the card that's not seeing the sun. And you can kind of see it's like really murky and kind of like hazy. That's what I would think this is. It's very hazy. You're not seeing this sun through your intuition. Okay. And then your crown chakra is, when it's in balance, it's wisdom, knowledge, spiritual connection, consciousness. When it's out of balance, it's limited beliefs and apathy. Or on the other side, it's overly intellectual, confusion, spiritual addiction, those kinds of things. And you get the Tower, the Knight of Cups from behind, and the Page of Wands, coupled with the Cross from the Lenormand deck, which is the duty, conviction, suffering, burden, intolerance, and dogma. I think this is limited beliefs. I think there's a deficiency here in the crown chakra. But I think that you're going to get a Tower moment. It's not going to be pretty. I think you're not seeing things for what they are, and I think there's going to be some Tower experiences. Holy Spirit is going to be with you. You just may not realize that. Oh, Spirit has your back, man. Spirit has your back. This guy. Spirit has your back. In this version, he's the dove, but he's like, yeah, Spirit's got you. I'm catching you. I've got that net. You just don't realize it because it's invisible and you're burning up in flames. Just kidding. There's no pain here. It's more intellectual pain. But it's going to happen. And what the best way to go about doing that is understanding what comes after that, and being prepared for it, right? Like, you can't, the more prepared you are for something like that to happen, the better you are going to take it. And these tower moments are great. Like, people are so freaked out about tower moments, and it's like, you guys, though, it's really amazing what those tower moments do. They rock you to your core. And if you're smart, you'll learn from it. I don't know. Are you smart? Some people just take the beating and keep going. Don't do anything differently. And I know people like that, and it's the saddest thing, because I'm like, you have so much opportunity to use what you're going through to learn how to, there's such a wealth of knowledge, and they don't want it. They just want to keep going and doing their own thing. And it's a shame. There's that burden. Oh, this is what I feel, is that there's this duty, conviction, suffering, burden, intolerance, and dogma. And then you have this tower moment. This crumples down the dogma. Yeah. So it's not, I really feel like it crumbles the dogma into stones into the ocean. And then you have this offering of love, coupled with this communication and passion. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this offering of love is more from a guy this is pure and awesome. This guy is like, he's offering up to Orion to be like, I appreciate the hunt. Thanks, man. I like the hunt. That's a not so, he's enjoying the hunt of women and the pursuit of women. And maybe that's what this tower moment is. Poor Cancer, man, you really got the, I'm so sorry. Maybe what this tower moment is realizing that this person is, not pursuing you, just pursuing women in general or whatever. And that he's a cocky son of a bitch, like, no, I'm trying to think in context of crown chakra and this cross, which is these burdens and this dogma. And I don't think that that's it, actually. I think of it as, her moving away from those burdens, those religious burdens, having a tower moment, and in the context of self-realization, I think you will start to have a new beginning. You're not going to immediately start off as a king or a queen, but you are going to start off in communicating your passion, for whatever that is. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's late here. And I think it's finding balance between that offer, that proposal, and maybe next time you may just say, I don't think so. I'm going strong. I've rejected my my religion, which is hard to do. There's chaos and conflict this entire time. There's absolutely, though, Spirit has your back in the death of what your heart chakra knew you were holding on and having a hard time walking away from. What, you know, either a relationship or what you thought love was. You're also walking away from, you know, this power, this strength of character. You're with your solar plexus. I'm really feeling like you feel like you're walking away from your strength of character, but you're not. You just feel like it, like you've lost that strength of character. And you're having to deal with, you know, sacral insecurities. You feel like you're walking away from the strength of character in your self-esteem, but you're not, because what you need to do is have this death in this heart chakra, because then it's going to allow for truth in your throat chakra. The haze has to part in your third eye in order to see what's coming in your crown. And what's coming in your crown is a breakdown of the dogmatic practices of religion that you thought that you were always growing up with. And that's going to be, I think you're going to, to me, this is a hope of being strong and youthful in that regard, and communication and passion, and maybe that's what you need to be really to embrace that passion in whatever you really want to do in life, and start a new beginning in that. I think there's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of chaos and conflict. It's kind of weird that that card got pulled, because it's so true. It's absolutely true. But I really do believe that, you know, that you're not alone. You need to get through all of this. And this is just one, you know, these are just 7 elements of one person. There's so many different elements and different situations and scenarios. And so maybe this resonates with you, maybe it doesn't, maybe some of it does, maybe some of it doesn't. But I do believe that good things are still yet to come. And I see that in a new beginning, in a youthful beginning in passion of what you really, really want to do, as opposed to what you might have felt like you needed to have done. So, all right, have a good rest of the week, Cancer. I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys.